What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Pam, and today I've got a little vlog for you, and I just wanted to pop in ahead of time just to acknowledge, obviously this was filmed during Hurricane Henri, which ended up being a tropical storm when it hit here in New Bedford, where I live, and we were originally forecast to be basically ground zero of where it was going to hit, and where I live, we are below sea level, we have hurricane barriers, we have floodgates, the whole 9 yards, so we don't get storms like that up here. So I was really stressed out in this vlog, and editing it back, especially after watching in complete horror, well, Hurricane Ida just ravaged Louisiana is so sad and so heartbreaking, and I feel very silly putting this out, honestly, but I'm going to put it out. It is authentic to what I went through, and I do like to document things like that here on my channel, so I am going to put it out, but I just want you guys to know that I do acknowledge that, especially in hindsight, it really wasn't that big of a deal, and people definitely have it a lot worse. And I am very sorry to all of you who were affected by Hurricane Ida, and I just hope that you're doing okay. So, all right, on with my trivial little vlog about being worried about my flowers. Okay, so I'm standing in front of the ugly shed that I kind of hope blows away. Not gonna lie. So the plan for today, basically, I'm gonna harvest as much fruit and flowers as I can, just to be able to enjoy whatever I can and cut down the amount of losses out there. I'm obviously going to hammer in all of my poles and stakes and make sure everything is as secure as possible, and I'm going to try to empty out the greenhouse of anything that can blow away. I'm basically just going to do the best that I can to minimize damage. So I might have to get a little creative today. I don't know. Haven't done this as an adult. Okay. So one of the reasons I'm not super excited or confident about this is that this beautiful sunflower keeps blowing over in the 2 to 5 mile per hour wind that we've been having. So not too confident the others are going to make it. So here are my major stress points. The containers, not worried too much. I can pick a lot of that up and bring it in the house. Very stressed about this raised bed because it has a lot of my most excited for peppers. You guys know what I'm talking about. My most anticipated peppers are sort of in this bed, and I can't obviously bring this whole thing in the house. I'm a little stressed about my cucamelon here, who is just finally starting to do really awesome things. I suspect that the wind will largely be coming from the east, which is this direction, so it's unfortunate because that's the only side really of the garden that I don't have some kind of wind protection. Definitely be cutting you. Definitely stressed about the sunflowers because I was really enjoying them and I was very excited about them, as well as the taller perennial flowers in the back. Those are really a big favorite feature of the garden, especially this view in particular. The sun's very harsh, so it kind of takes the magic out of it, but you guys will have to trust me. And then my other stress is this beautiful giant grouping of corn that I just can't see this making it through the storm, but we're gonna tie them together, hammer some poles in, and hope for the best. And then of course there's my beloved tomatoes, which are just gonna get absolutely hammered. I don't know what will become of these, which really bums me out because you can see, well, you can't see. If you could see, you would see really healthy, very green, almost entirely disease-free tomatoes in the middle of August, which is pretty amazing considering the rain that we've had. And they're gonna get pretty tore up tonight, I think. Pretty stressed about my eggplants too, but I'm hoping that they will not get too much of a direct wind. Okay, so I think I will tackle cutting flowers first, just so it doesn't get too late in the day. It's pretty warm. I don't want them to be... I really should have done this morning, but I just didn't get out here in time. So I'm gonna run around, I'm gonna cut a bunch of flowers. I have some, this is flower food. I have made sure that my family does not drink it. And I'm going to fill up a couple of vases and just cut as many of the flowers that are ready to be cut as possible, and I'll just enjoy some nice bouquets instead of the garden out here. And hopefully if the flowers make it through okay, then, you know, that'll just serve to encourage more blooms. Oh, butterfly. Hey. I am fucking dying. So I found some dragon tongue bush beans. Very exciting. It's kind of the first of these to be harvestable. They're definitely getting a little battered by disease already, but you know, it's okay. And then I have this one little cayenne pepper that grew on a sad little plant that I salvaged. So I've got, as you can see, a buttload of flowers to play with later on. I could probably cut more, but I think I'm going to start worrying about tying things to stakes because I'm already getting pretty hot. I'm pretty tired, and that's kind of more important than harvesting flowers. So I also have to get over to the ugly bee. I have to also get over to the tomato bed and start pulling anything that, you know, can ripen on the counter. So anything that's like more than halfway ripened, I'm just going to pull. And then I'm going to tie everything else up and hope for the best. Good morning. My camera died yesterday and I literally never stopped preparing anything, so you missed a bunch, but it was just me running around having anxiety and tying things to things, and it's not going to do anything, guys. My shit's already falling over and it's like 10 miles per hour winds right now, and we're supposed to get 75. So let's all have a last look. Let's all have a last look. I'm walking barefoot right now because in my panic I dumped a whole entire vase full of flower water into my bogs. So, area of much concern here. You know, we're just hope for my cucamelons to make it because I see a few on here. Not quite big enough to eat yet. Very sad. Very sad. I did my best to tie all the tomatoes up so that they would at least sway as one entity. Most of the greenhouse cleaned out. There's still some stuff that might go flying, but honestly, guys, I can't do another thing. I'm so tired. I slept for like 3 hours, and the storm turned back toward us. It was initially turned away, and now it has turned back toward us. But still not a direct hit like we were yesterday morning, so that's a lot better than it was, I guess. I've got some potted plants back here, and then the back of my house gets a bit of a windbreak, so I have some more plants here, and then I have a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of stuff in the basement. I took the figs to the basement, I took the peppers to the basement, just anything that I knew I would be grateful to have intact after this lovely storm. So excited.
Yep, that's a good thing there as well. Local radio stations will most likely have current information as well.
Never seen it like this.
Unless if they evacuated too. If they evacuated, then, you know, local radio stations may not be the way to go. But as I said, you know, they'll probably go on the social media sites like YouTube, and we're going to want to get this information out to as many people as possible. That's the big thing here. We want to try and save lives here. It's not just, you know, for...
This badass truck.
Inside has nothing to do with maybe. We'll check the other ones, but
About 11 a.m. So far, so good. Okay, I forgot to look at what time it was before I came outside, but I think it's like 2 o'clock. This is pretty much the upper end of the wind that we're supposed to get, and guys, I mean, how lucky did we get? The storm managed to hook and go right around us. I haven't seen this guy bloom yet. This was a volunteer. We had at peak about 40-mile-per-hour winds, I think. I think that I can safely say that if you do what I did, you can get your garden through a 40 to 50-mile-per-hour tropical storm. That's all the flowers I picked yesterday. All nice and hydrated. Alright guys, it's the next day. We're supposed to have a cloudy day today, but the storm is gone. And we got really lucky. I mean, it really, like I said in the last clip, it was barely anything. We've had winter storms that have blown harder than that. But I wanted to give you guys a little walk around. We'll see how things have shaken out. So this thing obviously fell over, but that's pretty easy to stake back up. The sunflowers pretty much all made it. It's really lost some cosmos here and there. This little flower corral, which really was something I should have done anyway at the beginning of the year with flower netting, but it worked out really well. And I think this probably would have stood up to maybe 10 more miles per hour. So if you have a storm coming, I'm pretty confident in saying that if you kind of corral off your clustered together tall flowers, that they will probably be okay. You know, I'm sure I lost a lot of petals and stuff, but that's fine. You guys saw I cut a lot of stuff before the storm, so everything should be flushing right back out and looks good. This is the bed I was really worried about, just because I didn't want my peppers to get beaten up, but as you can see, if I get the camera to focus, they are fine. They're fine. And I pulled a bunch of peppers off that I was kind of hoping to let mature into red pods, but that's okay. I can still use them, and there's still some on there. And this pepper back here is doing just fine. This is my Sugar Rush Peach. The slugs are finally leaving it alone, I think. Carrots hung in there. My trellised vines did great. So those are all looking pretty good. I don't even see any damage. And obviously the cattle panels held up pretty well. Those don't really have anything to catch wind, you know, so they did quite well. I would say at least up to 40 miles per hour. This thing managed to handle without even really swaying in the wind. And I've got some cucamelons. Oh, I'm so excited about these. I've never grown them and I've never had one, so hopefully I like them. My Dracula pepper held in there. I did pick another pepper off of this to give to my kid to bring to her apartment. See, yeah, everything did really good in this. Very happy. I don't even think I needed to bring in all of the plants that I brought in, but that's okay. Better safe than sorry. You guys know if I didn't do anything that, you know, that hurricane would have hooked around, hit us dead on, and we'd all be underwater right now, so that's a joke. I don't think I'm that important. Oh, look at that big old boy back here. Oh my God. Look at it. Look at it. How'd everybody do in here? Ooh. You did not do too well, I see. Oof. Okay, so this dahlia took a beating. I didn't stake that up, though. So today I'll come out and untie all of these so that everybody can breathe. And the corn made it, you guys. I can't believe it. I was looking out the window thinking there was no way that corn was going to get through this storm, but it did. The guys came out and kind of ratchet strap reinforced the top of my greenhouse down. You know, and again, didn't end up being necessary, but that's fine. This thing didn't even budge. I mean, I'm pretty proud of this. I didn't know how to build anything, and I managed to build something that withstood a tropical storm. Not a huge one, but still. I ended up flipping this table over just to be safe, so the wind did not do that. And these volunteer sunflowers made it and bloomed. That looks like an autumn beauty that probably some squirrels planted from last year. Same with this little cluster over here. I wasn't sure if I planted this or if it volunteered, but you can tell that it volunteered because it's a couple different kinds. We got a pro cut down. Pro cut down. Definitely not standing as tall as it was yesterday, but that's okay. Let's see, this main stem here broke. No biggie. So obviously my perfect bush of zinnias got a little battered, which is unfortunate because it really was looking quite good, but knocked over cosmos. This worked out really well. Kept those guys from completely falling over. I'm probably just going to leave this tied together because this plant is frankly out of control. And I think it's easier for the birds to land on it like that anyway. Got all the baby corns, did okay. I was a little worried about these guys over here, but they actually did really well, including this sunflower that wasn't even staked. Look at that. Dang, girl. You fine. So all I did to protect these was kind of come through and do what I would have normally done, tying them up against the trellis, although I tied them a little tighter and more clustered than I probably would normally. Down here we clearly had some issues. These definitely fell down from where I had them tied, but that's okay. Some tomatoes hanging in there. I'm so glad that I didn't come through here and pick off all the green tomatoes because that's what I was going to do. And a lot of these smaller green tomatoes, these won't split because they're still forming. They don't have that really thin skin yet. Probably definitely going to be dealing with quite a lot of leaf spot in the next week or so, though. You can already see it starting, which is a shame because these were so healthy last week. And then this was my other area of concern. So I ended up just jamming my bag of ocean forest up against the stem of my eggplants that were doing, better than the ones in the front, and I was hoping to just salvage those, but they all got through, so. Even the dahlias made it. I mean, not bad. So yes, I worried a lot for nothing, but that's kind of how it goes with these kind of storms. They're pretty unpredictable, and this one did a lot of wobbling in the later hours, so I wasn't too sure, I pulled the cucumbers on the preparation day. You guys didn't see that because my camera battery died. But yeah, I ripped those out because they were sick. I missed a vein there, but this is all going to become winter crops. Pepper's doing all right. How my ground cherries got forked. Look at these things. Oh. Are you still good? Oh yeah, ground cherry. This is kind of ground zero over here. This is what got beat up the worst. We've got a city tumbleweed over there, and then my chard got all beat up, and my sunflowers broke and fell down. But that's okay. Nice Lucia. Dang it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I should have just cut this sunflower. In retrospect, I should have cut that down. Well, thanks for going on that little journey with me, guys. I'm glad that it ultimately was a lot of worrying for nothing. If you were in the flood zones and you did a lot of worrying for good reason, I hope that you guys can't even see me right now. Okay, you can see me now. Yeah, so if you were affected by this storm, I'm sorry. I know that in me saying that I lucked out, you kind of didn't, and I'm sorry about that. And I hope that your garden made it through okay, and I hope you're okay, and I hope everybody's power is back on by now. And let's hope we don't have to deal with that again soon. I like living in a place where the last hurricane was in 1991. I'd like to keep it that way. Okay, great. So I'll see you guys very soon in the next one. Thanks for, going through that with me.